threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Sometimes we make mistakes.
Sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we don't. Cameron, I welcome you to the studio today.
We're going to correct all prepper problems today.
Yeah, there's mistakes to avoid, and we got 20 of them.
We're going to
talk to you about them
fix
today.
them.
Right? We're excited.
Yeah.
We are. But I got to tell you about something first. I've had this experience over the past 5 years of getting lots of subscription boxes. You know what I've found?
True.
Do you know what I've found?
The best of the best?
Yeah, I have found the best of the best. But the thing I've found that is really common between all of them, they're full of samples and junk you'll never use. But not BattleBox, because it's the monthly subscription box for men, and women. Women love it too. Full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you normally pay. We've done the math, Cam, haven't we? Several times. You never know what's in the next box, but here is a sampling of what users received this month. The Dangle Wallet's A10 Adapt, and guess what? I'm using it right now.
I got one too.
Friggin' love it.
The newest one.
Yep, and then we got the new hemostatic gauze dressing. Oh, that's great stuff as well. All this badassness starts at just $30 a month. They've shipped almost 1 million boxes and won Best Men's Subscription Box of 2017. Our listeners get a free knife when you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers. Trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers. Get your first battle box plus a free knife at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers.
Listener reviews starts now.
5-star casual psychos. Sunday, Jaw 0411.
Yeah, sure.
In this mad world we live in, we need to be prepared for whatever life throws at us. From a simple job loss to an earthquake of Cain to a Russian avalanche. These two weirdos predicted the great toilet paper shortage, alien confirmation, and a host of other crazy things that have happened in Rocket League.
RL. Yeah, Rocket League.
They did it all while keeping us laughing. They don't go all Fred. They keep it casual. If the real apocalypse ever does happen, keep yourself a gray man as you can and give your hook hand salute with style.
Thank you, Jaw 0411. 5-star review. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, go to the Kindle book on Amazon, leave us a 5-star review and make it awesome.
It's a mad world.
Sure is mad.
Cameron, have you ever seen hail as large as softballs?
No.
Good gracious.
I was in Montana in a pretty bad one, but not that big.
I was
Maybe
in one.
golf balls.
Yeah, I saw probably golf ball sized in Nebraska one time, and it was crazy. I was scared.
The hell you doing in Nebraska?
What the hell you doing in Nebraska? Get it?
Yeah.
So that was weird. But in Texas and Oklahoma this week, they had hail as large as softballs.
Man.
More than a dozen of those reports consisted of large lime-sized hail, which is hail at least 2 inches in diameter or larger. Somebody was saying, we were in an interior closet with our children. It was eerily still outside, and then we heard a loud noise, and the house shook a bit with the first big hailstone. Can you imagine if your house shook from a hailstone? That'd freak you out.
Yeah, that would.
1-inch hail can damage, but 4-inch hail, the size of a softball,
can destroy.
Yeah, battering cars and homes. You should see the pictures of some of these cars.
Oh, I bet.
Just freaking destroyed, man.
I remember my parents brought home a car once that like hail damaged one.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's all these it looked like it was built
just
to be like aerodynamic in some weird way.
The hail was so big and had so much force that it came through the roof in many areas. It even sheetrock on interior walls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. That's creepy. I don't know how you prepare for that.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Just
I haven't talked about that.
Get in the basement.
Massive hailstorm.
How the hell do you get out of a hailstorm? I don't know.
That's scary.
It is super scary.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's a mad world.
So Floridan residents are pissed and furious
Why?
as scientists prepare prepared to release hundreds of millions of genetically modified mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Led by British biotech company Oxitec. Why are the British doing this?
I don't know.
We're going to get them back.
Yeah, they got us back in 1776, and now we're going to
We're
get
going to
them.
release 1776 million mosquitoes.
Take that, Floridians.
We will. They're going to release 750 million male mosquitoes.
Oh,
Super sexist for one.
yeah, they're canceled.
Into the
Canceled.
Florida Keys over the next. That's probably why they're pissed. They don't even
Yeah.
care about the mosquitoes. They're all male. It's BS.
It's ridiculous.
Because in the Florida Keys, they're trying to control the population of invasive disease-carrying species. So their whole goal, releasing 750 million males, they'll pass on the gene that the females won't develop to adulthood, so they can't bite and spread the
heck?
diseases. Isn't that weird?
We got too
What if
many
they all
mosquitoes.
like, converge into like a mosquito man?
Hey, we got too many mosquitoes. What should we do? Well, I think we should just put 750 million more out.
The males are real nice.
Yeah, let's do the males. We all know what females are like. Yeah, winking at everybody. You know,
He's got a point.
he's got a point. Let's do it.
But yeah.
That was like Australian.
Hey, he's got a point.
He's got a point. G'day. Let's just get it done.
They're all from the same breed. We're from the same breed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
crazy.
that's pretty crazy to me.
Sure is.
Pretty interesting stuff. I feel like it's going to backfire. I'm going to create some weird, toxic, mutating
Yeah.
illness in humans, more so that already exists.
Probably.
And so
Yeah.
people are going to turn to mosquitoes and
COVID
stuff.
2021 swarm.
Imagine
You know what I mean?
People developing mosquito wings. Flying
Exactly.
around. Florida's weird. Don't go there.
Don't go Florida. Yeah,
Anyway.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so.
So today we decided we wanted to talk about some of the mistakes that preppers make. And sometimes you don't even know you're making these mistakes, Cameron.
It's true.
That's the hard part.
It's true.
Am I making a mistake? I don't know. But if you listen to today, you
You got to
might
go to a prepper pastor.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk to him about
Is
it.
this right or is this wrong, Pastor? But yeah, we got 20 of them that we're going to talk about today. So we're just going to start rolling.
There's a lot of them.
There's-
We kind of summed some
Yeah.
up. I think it touches on all the sensitive parts.
That's right. I'm going to touch your sensitive parts today. So get ready.
Here it comes.
The first one, boy, this one's hard. Lack of organization and planning.
It really is.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you were joking, but it seriously is.
Yeah,
super
that's what I'm
freaking
saying.
hard.
It is very, very hard.
Yeah.
So, especially when you start prepping, it's you kind of just like, oh, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to do this. I'm
Yeah.
going to get this. And I got $20. I'm going to
It's
buy
like
this.
the best time to
Oh,
be
yeah.
like planning and inventorying because
Exactly.
it gets out of control.
Start at the beginning
Yeah.
because you got to have a plan. And you got to have a plan in all aspects. And this doesn't just mean like buying food or water or gear. Start with the family emergency plan, Cameron. Of course, that's where I'm at. Because you kind of have to have a baseline
Here
with
goes
everything.
again. Fast forward.
That's what it sounds like when you fast forward.
It did. It sounded like it.
You got to have that baseline plan when you start when you're prepping, right? It's a mistake if you haven't kind of set out those basic rules and procedures for an emergency.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens when you don't have a plan? You just start doing
You buy
crazy.
16 bags of
Yeah.
flour and nothing else.
Exactly. And you don't have any yeast. You ain't
don't-
got
yeah.
water. You got nothing.
No.
But you got flour, right?
Good for you.
When it comes down to it, like it doesn't matter how much food or water or bullets that you have if it's a damn circus when the power goes out, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody knows what to do.
You're trying to put ramen in the magazine slot
Yeah.
on your pistol.
Don't work.
Where'd it go?
Got to reload my magazine. Shrimp flavor.
That's a pretty good one,
It is.
actually.
It's great. Yeah. So get a plan together. It's going to be worth it. Another thing to do when you're planning is a personal risk assessment. Right? What are the things that are most likely to happen to you in your area? And that's the thing when you're planning. Well, if you need to plan, but you've got to figure out what are you prepping for.
Yeah.
Like what are the things that you need to get ready for? So that's why the personal risk assessment is a big idea. Are you prepping for hurricanes, but you live in Minnesota?
Right.
That's not a great idea. You're just wasting your damn time, right? Think about maybe snowstorms or something, okay? Or think about like a Canadian invasion, or something, because you don't have to worry about hurricanes. When it comes down to it, there's going to be crossover on most things, but why not actually do this personal risk assessment to figure out, okay, these are the natural disasters I got to worry about. I'm on these daily meds, so I need to worry about this. My commute's super long, so I got to figure this out. I'm in $30,000 of credit card debt. Maybe I ought to figure that out, right?
It'll go away.
Yeah, so you got to it'll go away. I'm just ignoring it and see what
I'm
happens.
gonna trade in all this flour.
That's right.
Get out of debt.
Uh-huh.
Bank's coming to me.
Gonna work. And then what Cam was talking about, inventory. This is one of the hardest things
Super
for
hard.
me.
I still struggle big time.
I
with
struggle
it.
hugely, bigly.
I was just moving like some case lot stuff, you know.
Uh-huh.
I was moving around in my basement, and underneath was the sheet all crumpled up of my inventory. I'm like, well, I ain't doing very good with that.
Yeah,
Because I started and I went through it all, and it just kind of fell by the wayside.
I got a bunch of I got ready one day and I'm like, I'm gonna inventory this whole thing, and I got like an Excel spreadsheet.
That's kind of how mine
and,
was.
And I did all my food, but then since then I haven't done anything.
Yeah, it's
so
hard. It's hard.
You got to figure out how much food you have, because if you don't know, it's a little bit worthless, because how much do you need? You know, that's another thing you got to figure out. Like, how much am I going to need?
I'm not rotating very well.
No.
Like, I found a box of tuna that's like expires 2013.
That's great. You just keep it.
It's in a can. I ain't.
Yeah,
it's not
good.
swollen.
Yeah, exactly. So, grabbing some food here and there, it's great, but you're going to be disappointed when you actually count up your calories and stuff like that, because I actually went and counted up all the calories I had, and I'm like, holy fudge, this looks like a lot of food, but it's only going to last so long.
Yeah.
So it's always a good idea to have an inventory of some sort so that you know what you have, when that stuff expires, and you have this rotation schedule like Cam was talking about to get the stuff in and out, right? Because you might as well use it before it expires and then move in new stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for gear. Have a list, know what you actually need, and keep it up to date. That I'll never do that in a million years.
I think
I got too much gear.
Like you mentioned, I know it's impossible.
Yeah.
But like when you're doing that inventory, you're realizing, I don't have enough water to mix this, or I don't
100%.
have enough syrup for these pancakes.
No, you never have enough syrup.
Never
Just
do.
by the way, you'll never have enough.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so think about, that's one of the biggest mistakes, is not having that organization and not planning for it.
Yeah.
It's a big mistake.
Yeah.
Bigly.
And still one I continue to make.
Me too.
The second one's kind of what Kobe had touched on already, but overlooking prepping for the most likely scenario. So it's easy to be like, wow, civil unrest in Michigan, I'm going to get guns and knives and start building a barricade, and you're in the middle of the forest in California that's going to burn down this summer. So it's like,
exactly.
don't overlook the most realistic things to happen to you. And even closer to home than that is like, I could lose my job.
Yes.
I could, am I financially stable? Do I have an emergency fund for an unexpected illness or hospitalization? Like those little things are totally part of prepping. And it's easy to just look past them to the cool stuff, like, oh, be able to survive a zombie apocalypse. I got all this stuff. And so really when you're taking the time to get your preps all ready, focus on, and it kind of just takes some of the stress away to be like, I need to touch on these things that are going to happen here. Like us, we should worry about, flooding and viruses and stuff.
Snowstorms, power outages.
Yeah, there's just
earthquake,
like what's
maybe.
going to happen in your area.
Yeah.
Focus on that stuff. And when it comes down to it, the food, water, all that stuff's going to apply to all of it. You know? But get those basics so you have like a more honed in focus of the things that you're getting prepared for.
And so I think that comes back again to our personal apocalypse episode, right? Like that we talk about all the time, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
It's like those are most likely to happen to all of us.
Yeah.
Way more likely.
Yeah, and maybe your car's going to break down. And it probably will.
Right.
Cars suck.
They do.
Yeah, and just when you think you're like, I got a good money, I'm doing great, everything's fine, boom, engine blows.
Yep.
Every time. So don't think it, don't say it. It's going to happen.
So it's pretty easy to just go all out on the extremes.
'Cause it's
you
fun.
really just go to the basic stuff. Yeah. It's not as fun to
Yeah.
prepare for job loss.
It's not, no.
You don't even want to think about it.
No.
But you'll be better off in the long run for the extremes as well.
I agree.
If you're preparing for these simpler, more realistic things.
So true. The next one is missing the focus on essentials. And this is a little bit similar to what yours was, but again, this one is a super easy trap to fall into. Food and water, they are by far the least sexy things in the prepping, right? Like, it just really is. It's not fun. It's not sexy. Like, I got more water today. Put that on Instagram. It's not cool. It's not fun.
No.
But if Cam and I have learned
And
anything,
water preps freaking consume all of your space.
they do,
It's
yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah. If we have learned anything over the past 5 years, when we're researching whatever subject is we're talking about, maybe it's asteroids, maybe it's World War III, maybe it's civil unrest or a pandemic, every single time it comes back to food and water.
Yeah.
Like
what is
every
your body
time.
going to need?
Exactly. You got to have it to live. So that has to be almost always your number one prep, right?
Right.
So it kind of like your plan always has to revolve around that. And it's really easy to lose focus on that, like super easy. I've done it a million times because knives are freaking cool.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, all the little gadgets are fun and cool and but not to say you can't do those things.
No.
But you just got to make sure that you don't lose focus on the things that will actually keep you sustained through an issue.
And are more valuable to other people as well,
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like that you can bargain with or trade.
Because when it comes down to it, you can't eat them bullets. 5.56 don't taste good with milk.
No.
It just don't.
No, 22's okay.
22's not bad.
It's like Fruity Pebbles.
It sure is.
Little teeny.
Yeah, it's more like Rice Krispies. You got the pop.
Yeah.
So
And so many times, like, people ask me, like, hey, I just got some questions about my prepping. Like, what do I need to do? And I'm always like, how are you with food and water? Oh, I'm good. I'm like, are you?
yeah,
Like, have you really?
Are you good?
Having 2 cases of 16-ounce water bottles. Is that where you're at?
I
Like,
mean, it's relatively good, I suppose.
It's good,
Some people
but
don't have that, but
I always kind of ask them. I'm like, really, like, if you're trying to focus in one area, like, just get that stuff like pushed as far out as you can.
yes,
And then trickle in the gear and all that stuff.
cold trickle.
Cold Trickle. I love that movie.
Every time I hear trickle, I just think of cold trickle.
Get in the car, Cole.
Getting a car, Cole.
Number 4, too much focus on bugging out.
F you, bugging out's fun.
It is. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Wet dreams about it all the time.
Oh my gosh.
So all of your
Yeah.
gear, all your bags, all that stuff, you're like, man, if I have to bug out, I'm gonna have the best stuff in the world.
Just
but it is
daydreaming about it,
not
dude.
the most ideal thing. It sounds way cooler, I'm gonna take a tank up into the woods. I'm gonna eat grubs,
Yeah.
shower in a waterfall, scream at a waterfall,
Oh yeah, you gotta. If you're there, you
kill
gotta.
a bear, make it into a chair and hide and sleep in the
A bear chair?
bear chair.
It's good.
But it's like that stuff sounds freaking awesome, amazing. It's like Instagram gold.
It is.
But
But
it is the most likely your risks of dying and not surviving are way higher
it sure is.
because you have your home that's comfortable. You know your town, you know your streets, you know your neighbors, you know
got a
your
couch?
you know your threats.
Yeah.
It ain't bear couch, but it's a good
It's
couch.
a good couch,
It's a
yeah.
lazy boy or something. And so
Well, if a bear chair is made out of a bear, what's a lazy boy made out of?
you don't want
don't
to know. Big old lazy boy. But yeah, bugging out is freaking awesome, sexy, but like all of your stuff's like not all your stuff, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
But like the majority of your things and your comfort and the ease on your family, it's in your home. Like
Yeah.
you want to not have to travel. I don't
Home is where the heart is.
Yeah. I don't want to pack 100-pound bag up into the mountains to stay alive. It's like, what's the easiest thing to do? And the most likely thing you're going to do is stay put. So, yes, you're going to have that plan B of bugging out. Like, you should have some plan. Of,
absolutely.
Like, if you have to leave, like, don't just rely only on your bugging in. But most of your effort and the most likely way of surviving is going to be staying at home.
Yeah, I agree.
So, spending a little more time with that is probably better off than your plan B bugging out plan. And yeah, so the supplies and stuff, you can't carry your 55-gallon drum, the 3 of them with you It's just easier to have that stuff at home. So anyway, don't overlook the unsexy bugging in because it's the better thing to do.
I agree.
In most cases. But still throw in that plan B bugging out.
Sure. The next one, lack of skill development. And this also comes back to too much focus on one skill.
Yeah.
Right? In one aspect. But so the key to being a good prepper, really, when it comes down to it,
it's the only skill I'm mastering every time.
punch, haymakers.
Throw punch.
Haymakers.
Yeah. Gouge eyeball.
Yeah. The key to being a good prepper is to be well-rounded. I mean, the best preppers are the ones that have this really wide array of skills, right? And I hate to keep coming back to the gun preppers, but those are the ones that I immediately think of when it comes to this.
Yeah.
You know, they're very...
They get annoyed that we're not talking about guns enough, and it's like...
But they are honed in on guns and ammo. Like, that is the be-all, end-all of prepping. And everybody knows them. They're out there. There's a huge group of them out there, you know? So...
I see it a lot here, too.
For sure.
Like, you know, I'm like, cool. You know, that's great. But have you really gone through how many calories of food? Like, it's super boring and stupid.
Yeah, and if you
you're not
think
going to
about
brag about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you got $8.15. Guess what? I got 255-gallon drums of water.
Exactly. Like, you can be the greatest sniper known to man with 8 billion rounds of ammo, but when the flood washes away your house, or the fire burns through town, what good does that do you, right? Like, it's a great...
You ever shot water?
Yeah.
You put enough rounds in it. And
exactly. But I'm not saying that stop doing that. If you love to do it, that's great. Keep going, keep shooting, keep training because it's good skill.
Yeah, I bought 2 guns this last year. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here. I love them and I try and buy ammo when I can, but don't put all that.
Yeah, don't put all your ammo in one basket.
All your money.
You know what I mean? So it's best
put
to have
all your ammo in one magazine.
Don't do it. Just jam it in there. It's best to have the basics down and then have a wide range of skills. It's the best way to be as prepared as possible. So it's a mistake, I think, to really hone in on one thing and say, I'm a prepper, I'm prepping, look at me, I'm shooting paper targets. You got to have other things, and you got to make sure that your skill array is very wide. So think about it.
Do it. And kind of like the bugging in thing, it's like I'd mentioned, number 6, don't store all of your preps in one location. Because if you focus 100% on bugging in and have all of your stuff in that one location, and a wildfire comes, it's gone.
It's all gone.
Of it. How freaking horrible. Or an earthquake splits right over the top of your house.
Exactly.
Drops down.
Well, and this could go for different things too, because even just don't put it all in one place in your home.
Exactly. I think that's good.
Do you know what I mean?
Too. It's like not all in the basement.
Exactly.
Like, what if you get
a flood in the basement or something?
Right, a fire down in the basement.
Yeah. I don't know.
No. And so we've talked on different ways to kind of spread your stuff out safely. You know, look into a cache. So you have a buried, select amount of supplies in some location that it's either along your, your bug out location route or something like that. And then I feel like I have a mobile bug out, bugging in location. My car has tons of different gear in it in my vehicle kit. And then I have stuff at work, and my bag that I take to and from work has gear in it. So it's like you really want to have these things in different locations because you could lose it all in one place.
Yeah.
Not just from natural disasters there are cases in history where martial law government takes over and, what's yours is now theirs. And that would suck.
Yep.
So spread it all out. Bury your guns somewhere
that
you can get to them.
Exactly. Yeah. The next one that I think is a huge mistake and is a big reason why Cam and I are doing what we do is being unwilling to help others is a big one, right? Being that lone wolf prepper. It's like it's me against the world.
Exactly.
Right? And it pisses me off when it comes down to it.
Me too.
So in our opinion, in my opinion, I'm not going to speak for Cam, but I think it's his opinion too. Being a good prepper means helping and sharing with everyone anything that you've learned. Like, why keep it to yourself?
Right.
Like, I understand. So there's certain aspects to this. I understand wanting to be gray man and not wanting to tell everybody, hey, I'm a prepper. I've got all this stuff. I understand that 100%.
Right.
Obviously, Cam and I have thrown that shit out the window really fast.
Yeah.
Right as we started. But there's also those people out there that just want to make fun of people or trash people because of their choices in prepping or they do this or that, right? And so if you're doing that, I just think it's a huge mistake. The more people that you can help as a prepper before SHTF, the better off you will be.
For sure.
Not just them.
It's totally true, yeah.
The more people that Cam and I help, especially around us, right?
I don't want to give all my stuff to my neighbors.
No.
I want them all to be prepared and
I don't like them that
self-sustained.
much, to be honest.
I know. And that's the thing. I come off as like antisocial. I don't do a lot. And I kind of am, but if anybody knows me and my wife especially.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we help whoever. I went and glued a kid's head on.
You did, didn't you?
Wednesday night.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, so I just think I think not sharing your knowledge and not helping people just because you want to be great, man. To me, I think it's especially the
not
people around
worthwhile
you.
in reality.
Yeah, I think especially the people around you. I think to be a good prepper and if you want things to be better in an emergency, the more people that you can help get ready now before that emergency, the better off you are going to be and the better prepper you are going to be. Because you know what? You know how much Cam and I learned by teaching or like talking about this stuff?
Right.
So the more that you're helping somebody else, the better you're getting.
We mentioned right before this, it's like we used to rely heavily on articles online, and now it's like we want to talk about a subject, we put an outline and we just fill it in from everything that we've learned. And that's been from like forums and Instagram responses from other people and then our own research.
Yes. Yeah, so the more that you can help other people, the better that you're going to get. Like if you're going to teach somebody some skills, that just makes you better.
Yeah.
Right? So don't hold it all in. Don't be that lone wolfer. And when it comes down to it, good luck surviving an apocalypse as a lone wolf.
Seriously.
It's not going to happen.
No.
I don't care what anybody says. If you want to read a good book about this, read Survival Theory by Jonathan Hollerman. He is like an ex-SEER instructor and ex-military. He tried to do this. He's like, you're not going to.
The dude that has the only type of skills to actually do this.
It's not going to work, he says.
do it.
Like, it's not going to last long.
There's just no way.
You need a team around you. And obviously that depends on the environment you're in and a lot of different people. But the more people you involve, the more people you help, the better off you are going to be.
Yeah.
So.
Amen.
Uh-huh.
These messages, I approve these messages. Number 8, a lot of people ask about this too. So if you're prepping and not involving your family, like involve your family in some way or another into your prepping plans. That's a mistake if you don't. Your spouse might think it's stupid that you have a sword and a grenade under your bed. But if she knows why and how you're going to use it, it's good.
Sword and a grenade.
But if you're a selfish psycho and just plan on ditching them when, SHTF, or plan on, getting them together to go with you to stuff they don't even know about, like, it's just not going to work very well.
Yeah.
Things are going to hold you up, and it's just, the fluid plan that you've come up with isn't going to go so well.
No.
So, kids especially, like, they get into it. All my, and my kids they don't get into anything sometimes, I swear. But when I, like, start talking about, like, let's get a little bag and put some stuff in it to, for, like, camping and surviving, and they get, like, super into it. And half the time they waste all the batteries on flashlights when they put them in. But they get into it every time, and like they find it interesting. And if they know why you're doing it and where your gear is and how and when you would use it, like it's just it gives me a lot of peace of mind to know if anything happened to me, my family knows how to use this stuff and where it's at and why we're doing it.
If you can involve them, I think that's fantastic. The only caveat there is sometimes they don't want to be involved.
It's true.
And it's hard because how many times do we get that question? Well, how the heck do I get them on board?
Right. But it's weird to me.
It's hard.
If you're telling them, this is for us to stay alive, to be safe, to not have to deal with the mob during whatever event. it seems super weird to me that somebody wouldn't want to be interested. And if they don't, then
Get a new family.
yeah,
Get someone
get
new.
rid of them. Move on.
So if they're just worried about like the money spent, maybe I get it.
Right.
That's hard.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you can't do an emergency plan.
No.
Or something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
could-
That doesn't make any. It
Paper
doesn't
don't
take
cost
any money.
much.
No. It's easy. You know what I mean?
Pen, ink, it's gonna
Yeah.
cost you very
cheap,
much.
cheap.
So yeah, but get them involved. It will save you time and save a life, probably.
Yes. I'm dying.
Don't drink water through your air hole.
Yes. This one, we've talked about it already a couple of times, but focusing too much on weapons is one thing, one aspect of this, but the other half of it is not knowing how to use them.
Yeah.
Or expecting that you're going to be able to. Not that I don't know how to use my guns, but I don't practice enough.
I'm not super comfortable if like
Yeah.
yeah.
So obviously we're talking about the gun preppers, but we're also talking about those that have those things, but maybe just aren't prepared to use them like they should.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of, it is such a hard thing. It's hard to go out there every week and shoot your gun, but
It is.
do the best
And
you can.
It's expensive now.
It's super expensive right now. But if that's part of your plan, you need to understand how to use it, and you need to be proficient with it. I mean, everybody should. If you own a gun, you should know how to use it. Obviously, I know how to use it. I'm just not out there every week shooting at the range like I should, right? So just do the best you can to understand how to use that stuff, to be as proficient as possible, because when it comes down to it, you got to have it.
Yeah.
You got to be able to use it, right? But
Well, I was just thinking on this. I have that crossbow, and I haven't like dialed the sights in on it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
It's essentially useless because I'm probably more dangerous towards me and who's around me than what I'm trying to shoot.
for sure, like so, you just gotta know how to use the gear, and I think it comes down. And this doesn't necessarily have to be just weapons,
Right.
Right? There's a lot of other gear that I've got that I don't use often.
Yeah.
That maybe I wouldn't
Why are
really
you gonna
be.
pack that weight?
Yeah.
And you don't know how to.
You
freaking use it?
gotta know
Spend
how to
20
use it.
minutes trying to
Yeah.
use it and find out it's garbage.
Especially with things like a bug out bag, any gear that you've got in there, use it
Yeah,
as
you should know
much
how
as
to
you
use it
can.
as well. And some of it's duplicate, you know. It's like you don't necessarily need. Yes, I have variety of fire starting equipment, but like, yeah, you may have 4 different types of cordage that do
Yeah.
different things, and sometimes that's good, but it'll save you weight and time, and
Yes.
you just get more efficient at packing your bag.
Fire starting equipment is actually a really good example because we've used everything on the damn market.
There's a ton of them,
And some of it is just horrible. It doesn't work. So a lot of people like, oh, I've got
some that
some
comes
good
in
stuff.
like big packages, a ton of
Yes,
it, and
uh-huh.
it's pure trash.
Oh yeah, it's just like a lot
trying
of
to
trash.
Start like ground up asphalt.
Exactly.
It's like it's not burning.
So a lot of times people will get something, they'll buy it, they'll throw it in their bug out bag, like, frick, I'm good. No, you have to try it.
Yeah.
You've got to
You
go
really
out
do.
and use it because believe you me, when it comes down to it, if there's a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, it's going to be hard to start that fire, and you have
And
to
that's
be
the only
good.
thing you packed a ton of.
Exactly. So you got to know that it works, and you got to know the little tips and the tricks. Cam's got every tip and trick known to man with fire
I
starting.
have learned that fire starting is not as easy as it sounds.
So
Tried
just
started
make sure.
in the cave. That's still one of the hardest
gosh, it's
freaking
so hard.
events ever.
Exactly.
It was all damp and sticky.
Ew.
Gross.
Yeah.
It was just, basically I just made a bunch of smoke. About killed myself.
Smoke's great.
Number 10, and a lot of people trash this on, well, they've commented, why have these books, you know?
Yeah.
Why pack these books with you? I think one big prepper mistake is ignoring the importance of a prepper library. You don't know. You could be holed up in your house for several weeks to months, and I'd rather have something to read, even if it's just like skill books, than having nothing.
Dude, it's so true. Like, I get worried because there's like say water, right? Like
Yeah.
purification methods. Like I'll go over. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and remember this, and then 2 days later, I'm like,
I'm the
wait,
same way.
what? How much do I got to use of this
Is it
and
2
that?
teaspoons of
Yeah.
chlorine, or is it 40% chlorine?
Yeah, I don't exactly. I don't know, but I've got the Prepper Waters manual. I have it in my library, and I know, okay, if it comes down to it, I can reference that.
Right.
You know, I don't have to. I've got too much crap in my brain already, and having that just, I'm like, okay, I don't need to remember. I have that.
Right. One of the most valuable things I think we got from when we used to get survival boxes.
Yeah.
Is that freaking the little card set of skills.
Yeah.
And it's in a little binder. And it has like everything from like navigation to fire starting to water
shelter
procurement.
building.
Yeah, it's like all this stuff that, a lot of this stuff you may know, but there's a lot of like little fine details. You're like, I don't remember that.
The little
and
nuances.
The internet's not always going to be available.
No.
Like I YouTube everything when I'm like working on a vehicle.
Yeah.
You need to have paper backup or stored on a device that's protected, but it's so essential. And the doctor I work with, both of us are the same way with books. It's like almost everything that we can access to like work up a diagnosis is online, but we both like to have the books, like because you may fall back into prehistoric times, where you're digging in books to find stuff. And it's there and it's available. And so it's kind of stupid to not just buy and have some of those things readily available. Not everybody has time to learn how to be, a mechanic on a different type of motor that you don't own that you may end up having. So it's like having a book on how to fix these certain things or work on.
Yeah.
It's just stupid to not, rely on books. Even I throw in like I have a few small like field dressing guides in my bug out bag.
For sure.
It's like I don't know how to dress a squirrel.
Yeah. What do they like to wear?
Ferret. I know how to do a ferret though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like these little books will just save you a ton of time.
Yeah.
And make all that stuff and those skills. You'll just be way more effective or have time. Sitting in a freaking bug out location, you can just kind of skim through some stuff. Oh yeah, I could build better shelter.
Sure. And we've got that the Casual Preppers book list on our website if you want to check that out. It has a lot of good books that we think are great for your library.
Yeah, that's true. And I have even some downloaded videos of certain types of splints and casts and medical procedures that it's just impossible unless you see it and have done it to learn it by reading. So it's like but you can do that. I mean, I have a ton of old phones and I just store some of the stuff on there and stick them in a bag,
Yep. I love it.
One thing, this COVID-19 pandemic has brought many challenges to all of us. We rely so much on tech and it's caused a massive spike in cybercrime. Russia wants everything we have.
They do.
Steal it all.
Bigger and
they
better.
They want to learn about avalanches.
Avalanche.
But you can protect yourself. If you go online, you want to be a prepper online and go gray man. You want to go on to a virtual private network. And the best way to do that is Surfshark. So Surfshark offers you a virtual private network if you're on the network at the airport or if you're on the library network or at work. This will basically cloak your IP. So if you're doing whatever you shouldn't be doing or going on the black web to find you that freaking knife saw thing that you've been searching for a Christmas present no one else can find, you can basically protect your IP and your computer and your devices, any of them, with a Surfshark subscription. If you use Casual Preppers, you get 83% off for 24 months, plus you get 3 extra months.
That sounds ridiculous. Sounds like a lie.
It is. It is a lie. It's not.
But it's not.
It totally does, because for $60, you get over 2 years of protection for any device that connects to the internet.
Yeah.
That is amazing to me. If you don't even know what I'm talking about and probably are more confused from me trying to tell you about it, get it for 30 days.
Try it.
For free. And you can just be refunded. 24/7 support works on any device that connects to the internet. Go to surfshark.deal/casual preppers. Try it for 30 days. I'm telling you, you'll love it. It works and it's great.
Get Surfshark. Okay, Cameron. This one is, boy, it sounds great. Expecting to live off the land, hunt, fish, bushcraft.
It's kind of that gray man, but even sexier.
It's like you just, you don't care if the world ends. I'm just going to live in the woods by myself.
Like Dances with Wolves. Freaking cool.
It's super romantic.
I always dream about that. I'm like, man, it'd be so sweet.
It would be, right? And I don't blame anyone
homestead on your own
for thinking that this would be awesome. I can do it. If it goes down,
it's a manly thing.
I'm not going to worry about like getting food and water.
I can do this.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about prepping food and water and all that junk. I'm just going to go live in the woods when it happens.
It's all right there.
It's not going to happen, guys. Again, listen to Jonathan Hollerman. He says 99% of people can't do it.
Yeah.
And you're one of those 99% people.
I'm going to tell you right now, 150% chance I can't do it.
Can't do it. You just can't. Think about when the cold hits, the snow falls, the fish aren't biting. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Okay?
Kids are screaming.
Exactly. And do you not think that every other redneck in the area thought the same exact thing? Right? The people that didn't
That's the thing.
prep.
I know tons of them that are just like, I got all my guns, got my big truck. I'm going to go up in the mountains.
I'm going to take my camper up to the lake. I'll live forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. With
I already
every
have
other.
it up there.
Yeah. It's up there all summer.
It's been up there. Yeah.
It's like the lakes are going to be overrun with hillbillies, and then like the weekend campers from the city are going to come out and they're going to try and live in the woods too. Because what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Right?
They're doing that during COVID.
Exactly.
It's
They are.
Freaking flooding the forest.
And Cameron can attest to this. Hunting isn't easy.
Not at all.
It's not like you just
not at all.
You don't run out into the woods and shoot a
No
deer.
matter how powerful your gun or your weapon is, like
Doesn't matter.
There's so much more to it.
There's so much to it. And then on top of that, everybody else is trying to do the same thing at the same time. They're all trying to hunt and fish, and everybody's desperate. They're shooting everything in sight. There's nothing left. It's not going to take long.
Yeah. And that scares me even more too. Being up in the hills with no law anymore.
Yeah.
And a bunch of freaking
Hunters.
hillbillies.
Yes.
Just like, well, I'll blast his head off.
Yeah.
They want mine.
They want to eat my loins. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you just don't know.
I've got some good loins.
Yeah, I do. I've been working on them. But not to say that bushcraft skills and hunting skills and all that aren't important, because they are hugely important. They're a huge part of being a prepper. But look, that's not everything. You can't just rely on that. Go listen to our bushcrafters for preppers. I don't remember. We did an episode a while ago.
Bushcrafters eyeglasses.
Yeah, exactly. Lenscrafters. Because we talk about a lot of this stuff. Bushcrafting is not super useful when the power goes out for a few hours or your car breaks down.
Right.
Don't make that everything. This comes back to being more wide with your skills and the way you're looking at prepping. So just don't think that you're going to live off the land and be a bushcrafter, because it's probably not going to happen.
No.
Okay.
I always think of like the scenario of, okay, I've got to get whatever's coming through or through town. I'm going to go out away from everything for a little while.
Sure.
And then get back to modern civilization or modern tech as fast as I can. Because it sucks to be out. Even camping, I'm like, what a pain in the butt.
I know, man. After a couple days, like, I could take a shower right now.
Yeah,
watch
it's
Netflix.
just like, holy crap, this is not as easy as it sounds. Comfortable and relaxing, and it sucks.
Speaking of that.
Yeah. False sense of security. Number 12.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just get that normalcy bias of like, we live in a good community, government's, I'm a Democrat, and now I got a Democrat president. He's going to take care of me.
Everything's fine.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
And that exists big time. But
when it goes the opposite way, too. Like, Trump's in office. He's the savior. I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
Don't worry about prepping.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Yeah. He's going to take care of me.
Then, bam, COVID in your face.
So a false sense of security is easy. Even if you have a little bit of preps, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I thought that when I first got married and I had my 2 72-hour kids. My wife and I are going to live the same amount of time.
Yep.
And we can get back to normal.
Great.
It's good to have some confidence in your prepping, but don't assume that you have it all figured out and that you're ready for everything and anything to be thrown at you. You have to always be thinking about different things that could. Like anytime I watch like a survival movie, I'm like, man, that would suck. And how would I fare if this happened?
Probably not well.
No, I wouldn't. No. I mean, I always look at this whole thing like the COVID was like terrifying at first, and it started to trickle in that it wasn't quite as deadly. Cold trickle in. I'm saying, and like look at what it did to like everybody's minds, and like it's just something that I expected it to be not a big deal. You don't need this and that, and then it just like devastated everything, job loss, and just all these different aspects. But you need to be prepared. You need to not expect things to just be okay.
Yeah,
people are going to fend for themselves at some point or another.
Eventually.
So, yeah, you need to like look at the past history of like Hurricane Katrina and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like these got left out in the waters. That's not good. So,
George
anyways,
Bush hates
don't
black people.
expect anybody.
Yeah.
It's better to prepare that nobody's going to help you, and be better off in that situation than to
agree.
say, "I'll just get help from a church."
Yeah, exactly. That's a great one. Here's another great one. Disregarding financial preparedness. Oh man, this
It's
one.
easy
It's
because
super
you're like,
critical.
I'm not financially prepared, but
I got food, I got water.
money's going to get burned in barrels.
That's
We're not
the
gonna,
thing.
the currency's going to be
Yep.
eliminated.
A lot of people are like, well, if SHTF hits, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Right. But again, when it comes back to being a prepper,
Bank of America will remember that.
yeah, they've got their records sealed in a vault under the Antarctic or something. You know what I mean? They know how much money you owe them.
Yeah.
And they're not going to let that go. But also, most, if not, 99.9% of all SHTF situations that we will face are going to be short term, and it's all going to come back to normal, right?
Right.
I mean, it has so far, since humans
Everybody
have
and
been on the
everything
earth.
wants to go back to normal. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's the easiest.
Yeah, so it's going to come back. So go back and listen to our financial preparedness episode because there's so many good points that are made in that. Not to toot our own horn or anything, but we talked about some really good stuff. I feel like
Just
this
super basic stuff.
it's so basic, dude. It's so basic. And if you want to be a good prepper, you've got to be financially prepared. That has to be like one of the very first things that you do. Right? A lot of people get that mindset that, SHTF is just around the corner. I'll just rack up this credit card debt. Everything's going to be fine.
Yep.
Right? No, don't do that.
I'm
That's
getting
stupid.
those 35s I wanted.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going to go up in the hills with them.
Yeah, it's just not great. Make sure you get that emergency fund. Make sure if you can, pay down that debt. There's another one that we're going to talk about later on, but don't let prepping take over your life all the way, right? You've got to make sure that everything else is working like it should. Never go into debt for prepping. That's not a great idea.
No.
The world almost always continues on. It has so far,
Yeah.
right?
And it's always continued
Yes.
to run on currency.
Exactly.
Some form of
And it's hard to be a good prepper. It's hard to continually and regularly add things to your preps if you're not financially prepared.
Yeah.
It doesn't work very well. So just make sure. I think it's a huge mistake. Well, we're talking about mistakes. It's a mistake to overlook financial preparedness.
Right.
So-
Totally agree.
Yeah.
And that's an easy one to just like,
Yeah,
it's not going to matter in the end, but it will.
it will for sure.
Number 14, believing everything and everyone on the internet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can get caught up,
Oh.
when you're kind of following current events, and you obviously everyone wants to have that head start on
Yes.
being prepared, buying the toilet paper ahead of time before anybody else.
Great idea.
But man, the amount of real accurate information versus garbage it's so lopsided.
Especially in the prepper world.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a couple of times. There are people that are just throwing those things out to try and get clicks.
That's exactly right.
A
That's what
lot
sucks.
of them.
And so they used the whole fear mongering,
Yes.
just to like, boom. What was that? When you read those ones, they were all within the same week, weren't
Yes,
they? It's
yeah.
like,
Right? It's just-
prepare now.
yeah, like it's all gonna end. Last
Financial
chance.
crisis tomorrow.
And it's like, here we are. And you go back and look at the feed on YouTube, and it's like that same shit for 3 or 4 years straight.
Yeah.
We're still here. The economy hasn't collapsed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So just like everything in every everything out there that's available online, like if you get into prepping and survivalism and all that, and you start like looking, you're going to run into this trash
100%.
of like just fear mongering. And we've been accused of it.
Oh, many times.
But, which is whatever.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So, but like take things with a grain of salt until you have the ability to really look into it. Like one of the best examples is here in Utah when the pandemic started. They had the small earthquake, and they're like, shut off all fuel to the whole freaking,
Yeah.
and it was funny because I was at work and I was like, I probably should gas up, make sure. It made me even think that way. And then the gas stations were just like packed with people.
Overrun in like 20 minutes.
People were just like filling their truck beds.
I know, yeah.
We need all the gas we can
Open
get.
up the trunk.
And then come to find out, I was like out for what, 4 or 5 hours? 3 hours?
Well, it never-
one pump station. It wasn't even like...
Well, it was just they had to shut down the refinery for a couple hours just to be safe.
So it's like...
You know what I mean?
And so the people, went and lost their minds for a minute.
Yep.
But anyway, just be careful. When you're on there, don't believe everything you hear.
Yep.
Use your own brain
It's a
and
mistake.
mind and think. And, So,
I like that. Number 15, I'm going to say it. It's the hardest one.
Hands
the
down.
hardest one. Overlooking your physical health.
Yeah.
Getting yourself healthy, it's something, if you're a good prepper, it's one of the biggest things that you can do. But not even just for preppers, obviously. The healthier you are, the better you are as a person, right? Avoiding your health is just never a good idea. When it comes down to it, though, you don't need to be the CrossFit champion of America.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a marathon runner or like a triathlete. That's not what we're talking about. But if you're obese, right? If you're dependent on these daily meds because of
That are reversible illnesses.
that are reversible, yeah. If it's something that you can reverse, that is not good. And if you think about it, being generally healthy is gonna make any SHTF situation so much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier. If you're physically fit, you're gonna have the upper hand in SHTF and everyday life. You're gonna have the upper hand, right? You just are. This isn't just a prepping thing. Cam knows this better than anyone else, being in the medical field. So many people depend on meds that could probably get off of them.
Yeah.
Right?
And not only meds, they depend on medicine for the simplest garbage.
Yes.
Sore throat, I'm going to go and see the doctor. No, you don't.
Your body
Just
will fix itself.
Learn what
Yeah.
are the warning signs of something more serious.
100%.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So, if you need to bug out, like we were talking about, your 40-pound pack, it's not going to carry itself.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be if you can't make it up a flight of stairs, you can't bug out.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to. You just can't. And like I said, I feel like this is probably the hardest one because this takes the most willpower and it's something you have to do every single day, basically. You can't just overlook it for a couple weeks at a time because as soon as you do, you're fat again.
Yeah.
You're fat and you're lazy and
so easy.
it is so hard.
So easy.
So
hard, but so easy.
Yes. You've got to start slow. Don't try and be Mr.
That's the thing I always
Universe.
do, and I ruin my I'm gonna go run 15 miles because I can do it. I'm not overweight, and then I'm like, I hate
This
it.
is
It
stupid.
hurts.
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
Start changing little things, as you go. To me, I've found that the only way I can do it, I need that daily motivation to stay healthy. I got to have something every day. You got to listen to podcasts that are inspiring you or read books that help you get yourself in that frame of mind. Get yourself around those kinds of people that help you move out of that, not the people that are here, eat another Cheeto. You know what I mean? You gotta be around the right people.
Don't go with them. You come with us. We're eating Cheetos.
We got Cheetos. You see all this
You
Cheeto dust?
You want to do jiu-jitsu? You want to eat Lay's potato chips all night?
Think about it. So yeah, speaking of jiu-jitsu, find something that you love to do that helps keep you fit.
Yeah.
Because
I watched, just you. Kobe he wasn't sure, started it, and now he just
yeah,
I'm jealous. He's just so into
It's
it, and it's it's a motivator for his physical. And you don't even think about the physical fitness side of it.
Yeah.
You just do it.
just do it.
So
That's the thing. If you find something that's fun,
yeah,
you've totally changed the game.
because I've been trying to run on the treadmill, and I'll hit it once in a while.
That's
in
bull
the
crap.
week, and I'm like, this is sucky. I hate it.
It's horrible, man.
Yeah.
So if you can find, if you love to do basketball or soccer,
Mountain biking,
if you love to hike, those are the things.
Bareback riding.
Bear riding, anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those make it so much easier. Go back and listen to our Prepper Fitness episode. There was some great stuff in there. But overlooking your physical and health is a humongous prepper mistake.
It is.
Humongous.
It's funny, the ones that are I'm going to lone wolf it, and they're dependent on 6 meds. It's
Yeah.
you're not getting anywhere.
Good luck. Yeah.
And when we talked about the little super uber rich people doing like LASIK surgery, like if there's some correctable things, like get it done.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. That
like,
kind of stuff.
You got a knee that's just acting up and needs like get it fixed.
You have a hernia you didn't had for like 3 years. Go get that sucker
you're gonna have a hard
fixed
time
up.
finding a surgeon to fix some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But another really big aspect to not overlook, and this is probably one that I've seen just take off like crazy. Probably all of us have seen some form of it recently, more so. Mm-hmm. But number 16 is your mental health. No matter what state you're in, no matter
Utah
how
or Montana,
you think you are, what state of mind you're in.
Yeah, okay.
Like this stuff works on you big time.
Oh my gosh.
Like this pandemic has made me even feel like freaking just depressed. I'm like, is this, I take we've taken our kids to like the aquarium and they're wearing masks and they can't do any of the interactive stuff, and it's just not the same for them and it's depressing. And the amount of depression that I've seen in clinic has just shot through the roof. Like people are just like they're done. They just don't want to go and do anything anymore. And they're like, I don't know if something chemically's off. And I'm like, no, it just sucks right now.
Yeah.
Everything sucks and everybody around you sucks. Am I motivating you yet?
It just help.
But, it's just like to go through any kind of scenario that's going to take over just a few weeks, people are just going to crash mentally.
Yeah, if you're already tipping on that edge.
If you're already kind of like crying 5 times a week, 3 times a week, I can guarantee you when SHTF or something more serious, you're not going to make it.
You're not going to make it, no.
And so you've got to learn, one, how to cope with certain things and when you need to seek medical attention and, maybe, just some simple stuff to relieve the stress, like exercise is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Journal writing, like stuff like that. You're going to have to learn how to do that because it's not going to be pleasant. And
no.
We know that just from this pandemic that was kind of a teaser.
Yeah.
That it's going to be hard and people around you, like suicides and everything, have gone up a ton. And so that's just kind of something to not overlook is like, where am I at? Yeah. What's my mental state? Or those in my family, like, what do they struggle with? And how can we like work through those things? Because it's only going to get harder.
Well, if it is some sort of a chemical imbalance and you can be helped, and you can be helped by meds, get on them.
Figure it out.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's worth it.
Yeah.
I know I have family members that have been on them for a long time, and it is night and day difference. Yeah. And their life is better because of the meds. Yeah. And if you have to get on them, get on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to have to figure it out.
And then, but it gets you more in tune with like how to help yourself. And because, it's going to be super depressing if something more serious
not going to be great.
Or think of pandemic number 2.
It's going to be fun.
You need to triple mask it
exactly
for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
that one's hard. Yeah, that's a mistake. Don't overlook your mental health for sure. The other one, number 17, overlooking the importance of prepper comforts. This is a big one too, man. Especially if you've got children.
Yeah.
You don't overlook this. You've got to have things that keep people's morale up, especially in an SHTF event, right? You have to have that plan. You got to have things like board games and candy and books and cards and coloring stuff.
I know junk food is
it's not great.
We just talked about health and mental health and all that stuff plays against it, but there's a place for it and a help to like make your kids be distracted.
Exactly.
Or over hyper.
Yeah, one of the two. But you have to think about it, and you have to think about it now before things happen. Have a plan for this in all aspects of your prepping plan. So this means like EDC, your bug out plan, your bug in plan, all of that stuff. Think about some little things that you can add to those kits and those plans to help with comfort and entertainment and morale. Yeah. Because if you overlook it, I think it's a huge problem if you overlook it. You gotta have a plan for it.
You do.
That one's simple, but
it's
a mistake.
Simple to do, but it's easy to just like, no, we don't need chocolate in our storage. Yep. We don't need, but it will be a lifesaver.
Exactly.
You put lifesavers.
Lifesavers are great. Yeah.
I was moving.
Yeah, you were getting there. You got it.
18 failure
to speak.
Yes. Learn how to talk.
Learn how talking's hard. Figure it out. For SHTF.
Next one. Failure to plan for hygiene needs.
Yeah.
And this one, like Kobe stressed, like early when we started doing prepping, he was kind of talking about it more. And I'm like, well, it's kind of a joke. What a nightmare it would be to live, shoulder to shoulder in a basement.
Yeah.
Stinky, nasty, non-showered bodies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eel.
Talk about mental health strain.
Woo.
That's going to put it up there.
Yeah.
But TP is a luxury. And we saw during the pandemic that kind of got wiped out. And people couldn't.
No pun intended.
Couldn't wipe out alcohol. And it's a huge health risk. You're cooking your food in one corner and everybody in the family's pooping in the other corner. That's going to drift over and mix and you're going to eat poop. And
that's not great.
But no, just the fumes and all that stuff. It's like there's certain things you've got to prepare for. How to get rid of waste. What if there's a nasty pandemic and people are dying around you? How do you get rid of those bodies? Like it's something that's ridiculous to think about, but you've got to think about it. And then living in your nastiness, not having a toothbrush, all that stuff. The last thing I want is to have a root canal in the middle of an apocalypse. It's
I guarantee them
just blow my head off.
Them dentists will still be rolling. They'll still be putting crowns on as much as they can.
This root canal is going to cost you 6 boxes of 556.
Exactly.
Figures.
Well, and then, when it comes down to your water preps, having that water that's separate for the hygiene and cleaning and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't
Kobe's
overlook it.
Their little genius idea of just it's using your used up laundry detergent bottles to store that water for cleaning. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget.
But don't overlook your hygiene because your body likes to break down.
Yes. Number 19. This one is humongously important. Forgetting that there is life beyond prepping. Don't let prepping be your life.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy for this lifestyle to kind of take over. Especially because you're thinking about all the things that could happen.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun. Really, like everything that we do, it's pretty dang fun. It's fun to think about these situations. It's fun to gather the gear and the food and the water. It's really fun. But it's really easy for it to take over everything, especially when those people that get really fixated on like a certain event or a possibility, right? It seems like that when people do that, like if you've seen Doomsday Preppers, on National Geographic, they all have like this one thing that they're just like fixated on.
That's true.
Right? And they just let it take
like an OCD thing.
They let it take over. That's why we do what we do. That's why we have casual prepping. We think it's obviously really good to be prepared, but we don't want it to be everything. You still have to live.
No.
You still have to have a life, right? Because if you let prepping take over, it can do several things. It can burden you financially like crazy. It can take up all your time, and it can push people away because you think you're crazy.
Right.
Right? And that's why you got to be casual.
I still remember my wife going to that one thing where he was sharing his knowledge. I'll give him that. But then he was like, I'll make my own deodorants. And if anybody comes asking me during, a crisis for my supplies, I'll shoot him on the doorstep. It's like, what the freak?
And he only eats prepping food.
Yeah. It's just like gone to a level of psychosis. It's like
there's something wrong.
And even along with those people who are like, if you don't know how to strike rocks together, then you're not gonna be able to start a fire. It's like I can go buy 700 Bics,
exactly,
and they instantly start fire. It's amazing. You don't need to get super obsessed over this stuff.
Exactly. So just make sure that you don't get caught in that where it just becomes everything that you do.
Yeah. I think it's detrimental, like you said, to other people wanting to prepare.
Yeah, it makes preppers look like psychos. Yeah. So just don't do that. It's a mistake for sure.
And then the last thing, number 20, is expect to basically to overlook the fact that you might experience prepper burnout.
Yeah,
you may
don't
be
overlook
super
it.
into it right now and think, I'm gonna always be prepared. You will experience at some point prepper burnout.
Yeah.
I've gone through it. I go through it off and on.
Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
just like, what do I do with all this crap? Like, freaking water's taking up all the space. Do I really need it? We haven't used it. It's like, it's easy to just be burned out in preparing. You're just like, I don't know, what's the point anymore? And we did do an episode on this of things to like.
Yeah, we did.
How to kind of avoid this. Get people, talk about it once in a while with some friends and even teach it or talk about it to other people. There's just a lot of different ways to avoid it. But it will probably at some point happen, and you need to know how to overcome it.
Yep. Just listen to that episode because, again, it's a mistake to not be prepared for it because it's going to come at some point.
Yeah. You get tired of it.
You do. You will. So.
I'm dumping all this water.
Exactly.
It's worthless.
So that's the 20 mistakes that you need to avoid and be ready for.
Yeah.
Right? There's some good ones.
Watch out for 'em.
There's many more.
Watch out for 'em.
That's the ones. Guys, today's podcast is brought to you by TacPack, the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Use our code Casual Preppers and get a free separate bag of EDC gear along with your first month's TacPack. Head to TacPack.com. Use our code Casual Preppers. You got an AR? You like EDC gear? This is for you. All right?
This
Go
is for your
get
AR.
it. Yep, exactly.
It's time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
Oh, you can jump right to that. Huh?
Yeah, we'll do that, then we'll go to our reviews.
Okay, this one's pretty quick. So, say you decided, you know what, screw it, I'm going to lone wolf it, or me and my family are going to lone wolf it.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if one of you stumbles and impales your
Oh, geez.
your leg? Most often, impalement injuries happen to a limb.
Do they?
And so, what do? You got this big old freaking stick sticking out of your arm, or you've got, a big old piece of rebar through your thigh.
Oh, that doesn't sound
Sounds freaking horrible. Like, how do you manage these when you don't have access to, the ER and stuff like that? Obviously, you want, and again, disclaimer here, you don't want to do much to it at all until you can seek proper medical attention. But say you're out in the wilderness, you're with some buddies or whatever, and you impale yourself. What do? Number one, you don't want to pull that thing out.
Okay.
It acts as like a bandage itself, it's poking through a blood vessel. It's probably clotted around it, and you don't want to take it out in that location. You want to be way more prepared, hopefully in an ER or hospital when they take that out of you. The next thing is, it may be kind of hard to walk around with a big old freaking rod sticking out of your thigh.
Yeah.
So you want to have
sounds gross.
when you're with other people, secure it and cut it down to size, like trim it. And use whatever gear you have, straps or whatever, to like keep that thing as stable as possible. Pad it with, socks, a jacket, whatever, so that it ain't gonna get bumped and jostled around, so that you don't break loose that blood vessel you pierced. Anyways, kind of freaky stuff.
It is.
But that's kind of the second thing, and then third, you're gonna want to try and find or get in a location where you can manage a ton of bleeding, because that's probably what's gonna happen when you remove it.
When you pull it out.
When you're on your own, this is where it becomes super important to always have with you like a med kit that has a few key items. Number one is like they have like those powder things that kind of help clot.
The clot.
Like quick clot. Or you can even get packing gauze or like trauma gauze that has that already in it.
Didn't we get some from BattleBox in the last one, right?
Yeah. Oh,
the
my
hemostatic.
gosh.
Is it the hemostatic kind? Okay.
So it already has like a blood coagulant in there. And then so if you hurry and pull something out, you can just pack it real quick with that gauze that's sterile, plus it's got an anticoagulant. Your chances are way higher, obviously.
Sure.
If you have no other choice and you're in a remote location, you can't get to help with that sticking out of you and you got to pull it out, you're going to want to have that stuff. And then, prepare for shock and all those other blood loss things. So hopefully you can get to, medical attention. But like I said, the key things, don't pull it out if you don't have to. Trim it down to size that's manageable and not going to get jostled around and bumped till you can get to proper medical attention. And then if you're on your own and pull it out, you better hope you have some procoagulant or, dressing that's going to help. And then tourniquets, and I mentioned this before, there's like some bad rap about tourniquet a limb, but honestly, that is, you want to just cut off the blood flow to that area. You're either going to die before that limb falls off, but you're much less likely to damage it to where you're going to lose the limb. So don't worry about tourniquets. Use them. They can save your life. So anyway, there you
awesome.
Go. It's just some puncturing wounds.
I like it. We have some reviews today. Let's get rolling because we have 3 of them actually.
Holy crap, yeah.
All right. Which one do you want to start with, Cameron?
Let's do it with Crate Club.
Crate Club. We got the latest Crate Club, guys. These guys just freaking... Huh? Yep. Crate Club, the latest one. Oh my gosh, they got good
There's some
stuff.
fancy stuff.
Man, yeah. The first thing is the Spartan Fire EDC Tinder. So this is like these little white tinder strips that are great for starting fires and stuff. So those things are awesome.
They're in there somewhere.
Yeah, they're in there. Then the next thing is the 9mm to 45 ACP Universal Pistol Mag Loader. Plula, I think is what it's called. So these things are cool.
Yeah, pretty fancy little deal.
Yeah.
Quick reload.
Then we have the Crate Club Poncho Liner. So this is like a whoopee, basically. It's like a blanket, and I think it's a...
This one?
Yeah, it's a sleeping bag as well. So I think it's
Oh,
kind of
that's
cool.
sweet.
Yeah. Then there's
Always useful.
the Kong case. This is the Earth Jungle color. Pretty freaking sweet. We got one of these in a battle box a while ago. Really nice
There's
cases.
a ton of space in these.
There
and
is.
then they pack it completely full of foam. So
Yeah.
you cut and trim to whatever you
Whatever
want to
you
hold in
need.
place.
They're pretty dang cool. Then we got the Half-Breed Blades, the CCK 05 compact clearance knife. This is a sexy looking blade, dude. From
It's
Half-Breed.
a heavy beast. Like,
Yeah. And the packaging is really nice
Yeah.
too. Like I love when they
Even
have a
if you
good,
didn't want to keep it, it would
good
be
presentation.
like the best gift ever.
Yeah.
So it's
pretty
got-
dang cool.
These are like some of the little holsters, like one of my favorites because it just clips on your
Mm-hmm. Yep.
belt. Super
And it's
fast
tiny and
easy.
it's
You don't have
lightweight.
to slide your belt all the way off.
Yep.
You just clip it on it.
Yep, pretty awesome.
Pretty beastly.
Then we have the Madhouse Designs single pistol mount. This is with a 9mm pin. So this is something for mounting a gun, a pistol like in your truck or, under a desk or something like that. It just, your barrel slides right into it.
That's sweet. I
It's
like
pretty
that.
cool. Yep.
That's cool.
Then we have the Leatherman Raptor Rescue Shears. These always useful.
Yep. I
Great
have one
for a
on my
med
med
kit.
kit. Yeah, they're like I feel like you could cut tin with these suckers.
Yeah.
They're freaking insane.
Pretty sweet. And then the last item is the Gun Vault Speed Vault SV500. It's a great little pistol vault for your house or your
That's freaking
truck or whatever. Yeah. So dang, Crate Club killed it.
They do. They have some
Yep.
tippy top.
They do.
gear.
Then we have the Going Gear EDC Club for this month. Right. Yeah, so there's no paper for that one. But there is, so the first item is this, what brand is this? The Gossamer Gear Vagabond Packable Backpack. So it's a backpack that packs up to this little tiny pouch. So you can take it out on a camping trip or something if you're going to be doing some day hikes, and it doesn't take up much space, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Then you
the-
got the Durston wooden spoon.
Wooden spoon.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's lightweight.
Throw that in your bag.
Yep.
Tastes like wood.
Tastes like wood. It's super lightweight, like doesn't
It
weigh
is.
anything.
Yeah. Floating away right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got a titanium emergency whistle by Vargo.
Yeah,
Freaking titanium.
it's
Just
titanium.
going to call in a Russian.
Exactly. So that is the Going Gear EDC Club. Then somebody sent us, this is from Dune Survival. They sent us a 72-hour bug out bag survival kit. It's like an all-in-one sort of 72-hour, you're going to survive with this thing. So it's a box full of stuff, man. There's a backpack. There's a little like emergency tent. There's water.
So do they sell it like this?
They sell it all in one. Yeah,
What's
so
the
it's
price on
it's like
it?
$63.
Oh, wow, yeah.
For all that stuff.
So if you just want to get something
Yeah.
done and ready.
Yeah, but here's the thing, guys. We're actually going to give this away.
Yeah.
We're going to do a giveaway this coming week with this. So be watching the social media, and if you want to win this. So there's a backpack. What else is in there, man? There's a ton of stuff. There's paracord.
There's gloves. There's paracord.
Yeah.
There's a.
I think there's a flashlight in there.
Like a filter. There's
Mm-hmm.
a bivy or
Zip ties.
Mylar. Yeah.
Duct tape,
I mean,
food.
it's got like all the essentials
Mm-hmm.
in this box, and then you have a bag to put it all in.
Exactly. So we're going to give this away next week. So be watching the social medias because we'll figure out how we're going to do that. Maybe Monday or something. We'll start that and
And you
give it
can
away.
check one out for yourself. It's Dune, Doon.
DOON. And
Survival.
you can find it either on Amazon or on eBay.
Give us the exact link.
Yeah, it's 516-222-469-9997. That's all we got.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias. And that's it. Right, Kim?
I'm done.
Okay, stay survived.